Hello, BookTube. Over the last few weeks, an annoying element of my reading has uh, come into focus for me, and that is giving far too many chances to authors whose work I don't like, and also way too many Bill redemption shots. But I want to focus on the giving way too many chances to authors whose previous work I have not liked. Um, Largely because there's a lot of parallel between Percival Everett and Tom Holland in that um, I did not like the first book of theirs that I read, and I subsequently picked up two more books by them. Although I cannot confirm whether or not I ended up buying the two other books of Tom Holland's at the same time, or if I bought them separately. But anyway, so let's take on Percival Everett first. So last year I read The Trees, which was Percival Everett's breakout book. The Trees is a satire of American race relations and police detective fiction. It's about Money, Mississippi, the city in which Emmett Till was murdered 70 odd years ago. In the novel, the descendants of the men who murdered Emmett Till are themselves brutally murdered in revenge. And at the scene of each crime, each murder, the corpse of a long deceased African American man is present who is made up to look like Emmett Till, and in his hand, the testicles of the more recently murdered victim are held. These murders start to spread across Mississippi, across the South, and across the country, causing societal panic. The lead investigators are two detectives with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. I initially thought some of the humor in the novel was effective, but I gradually found it wearing on me. And by the time the novel ended, I started to loathe it. I wish I had bailed on this book so much. I really did not get on with it. But again, I've heard so many great things about Percival Everett that I wanted to give him another chance. And so a few months ago, I picked up, no, more like a month ago, I picked up Erasure and Telephone. And last week I had a go at Erasure, which is a satire about the American publishing industry. Thelonious Monk Ellison is an English professor and novelist whose work is critically praised but not commercially successful. He's accused of not being black enough, or his work is accused of not being black enough. Over the course of the novel, he eventually does write that novel under financial pressure and a bit of professional jealousy of a new up-and-coming author whose work is in that genre of being black enough. I did not like this book. I didn't really connect with the character of Ellison of Monk was kind of off-putting, and like the style, it's very choppy, sort of scene. Just it didn't work for me at all. Dare I try Telephone? Because I got it. 2 years ago, I read Dynasty by Tom Holland. This is a history of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, the dynasty of the first Roman emperors that started with Augustus and ended with Nero. The book is popular history. Tom Holland is fantastic at writing a historical yarn, but the book, it's just so gossipy. It relies so much on old, like the gossipy Roman historiography without any sort of new research. I mean, and while yes, Roman historiography, the Roman writers are a major source, I mean, there are so many other sources that have been discovered over the millennia that shed new light. And it's a soap opera it's a soap opera of a history, and it's not the history I want. So then I bought Persian Fire in Dominion. So Persian Fire, which I had to go at this week, is about the conflict between the Persians and the Greek city-states. And I was immediately put off because of the incorporation, the usage of the clash of civilization as a theme, that sort of noxious narrative that East and West can never get along for some stupid reason. And the sort of the beginning of the book, which focuses on the history of the Persians, it's just dated. I mean, more obviously dated. In this case, it's like a lot of research has been done on the Persians, even when this came out. I know I read about a year or so ago The Persians by Llewellyn Jones. No, Llewellyn Davis. Llewellyn Jones. That was pretty much used the latest research and gave a good idea of what Persian history was. And it's just it's so dated and so just I really did not like it at all. And yet I still have Dominion, which is, I think, about Christianity's influence on the West or something. Which, yeah. So, why do I do this to myself? Why? I don't know. I don't know if it's just I'm not I don't want to commit to I don't particularly like an author, or I feel like, which I don't know exactly why I should feel. Anyway, I don't quite understand. If anything, hopefully this video has got me to talk myself out of a third attempt for either one. When I was thinking about making this video, I had hoped I would be able to have a little bit of levity. Like Third Time's the Charm, or Lola Linya's Shoe, or Rosa Kleb's Shoe. Because I've often, it's, I'm not in the mood for levity right now. This week is going, well, I need a vacation. Anyway, BookTube. So I don't quite know why I do this. Pigheadedness, stubbornness, insanity. I don't know. Probably would be one of those things where somebody else would have to, because very often oneself is not necessarily the best person to go to for analysis of one's actions. But the one positive I can say from this video is that I don't think I'm going to give either Tom Holland or Percival Everett a third chance. I think I'm probably done. So when I do next unhaul, I think I'm going to certainly send Tom Holland out, because I don't want to read him again. And Percival Everett, when I do it too, I think I'll send him on his way too. Anyway, BookTube, sorry for this whatever this was. Yeah. Again, the last few weeks have not been terribly pleasant, and I need, I don't know what. Anyway, BookTube, I will see you next week. Until then, thank you, have a great weekend, and stay safe.